Hello, this is Artsy Wisdom. My name is Diane. Welcome. Hope you're doing well today. Um, I appreciate all the feedback you guys gave me on my last video. Apparently, it was very choppy and hard to watch, which I'm sorry about that. I re-uploaded it. It has to do with, I think, the playback or the timing issue or something. So I redid it, and I think it didn't have an issue the second time around. You know, technology. Anyway, and thank you for your comments on buttons. Yes, everybody's back here in Arizona and it's hot and it's not like I was in Canada where it was cold and rainy. And Buttons is doing fine. She's getting the lay of the land in the house and everything. But today I wanted to look at, I saw an article or a quick blurb on a leak that the Pentagon is planning, or Trump has authorized the planning of training the National Guards for quick response forces units to have, by the first of the year, 500 troops in each state, which 500 troops in LA or California is like a drop in the bucket, or big Texas, or all these places. So I'm not sure how that's going to work, but it did give me pause because I thought maybe this might affect us in a way that was, anxiety provoking, military coups, takeovers, martial law, all those things come to mind. And so I wanted to quickly meditate on it and pull some cards to see if that was anything. I've had a couple of viewers ask about certain things. Fran is most notably, and I'm going to get to those. He asked about Oppenheimer and technology. And that kind of thing I have to meditate on. If you haven't been here before, I meditate, I do astrology, I do tarot cards, and um, I'm a hypnotherapist and life coach and stuff. Yeah. So I do all those things, and I talk a lot about politics here because that's what we're all experiencing right now. And I try to bring calm in the chaos. So today, like I said, I'm going to pull cards on this. When I first meditated outside, sorry, chopped off my sentence there. Um, about this National Guard troops. I have a sense when I'm in the energy of these units or these guys, mostly guys, I guess. There's some women, obviously, but I feel like they're going to go through the motions. And yes, there'll be some that are going to go gung ho, let's beat on people. Most, no. Most of them are well meaning, patriotic guys who know um, pushing against their fellow citizens, unless they're literally doing something criminal, is wrong. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of second guessing, inner turmoil in these people as they do this. I did also feel as if, yes, they are going to get trained and they are going to have this quick response. There will be other units that'll be trained in a different way. This is supposed to be for civil unrest and riot control kind of thing. And the one thing I thought of too was the election. Is there going to be some big thing that we have to control riots when the election is stolen or something like that? So I know a lot of you are concerned about that. So I'm here to kind of put those things together. And my brother just posted a picture when he was stationed in Germany. He's part of the Democratic, at his precinct near Chicago. Is he a committee precinct captain or whatever it is? And he's really involved. But there was a picture he showed back in the 80s before the wall came down, when he was in the army in Germany. Much thinner, as we all were back then. But he's really did a lovely blurb about fascism and, serving. And he's just so horror. It's just so abhorrent, and he is ashamed and frustrated at what's happening right now, and he gets angry. But a lot of people get angry and they want to blow up and they ruin relationships. Anyway, so when I got into the energy of this situation, Pentagon, and yesterday I looked at Pete Hegseth. He is definitely, something's going to happen with him. I don't know anytime soon, but he's definitely going to get in trouble really, really badly, and he's going to have the walk of shame. His ego is so gigantic, though, I don't think it's going to penetrate the skull, but it will, at some point, he will be dismissed. So, all right. So when I looked into it, I didn't feel this militarization, like martial law, people taking over the military taking over the streets. I know it's like the frog in the pot, right? Turning up the heat. And so there's always free will and life can change, but I don't feel like that's going to happen. So I'd like you not to worry about that. They are going to be training more and more because that's what this administration wants, is the brutal hand of dominance of the big hammer. That's how they look at life. They close the door to immigrants. They pull them out of their cars. They pull them out of their apartments, drag them kicking and screaming without any due process. Sometimes citizens, sometimes people here legally. So it makes sense that you'd be nervous because they want to do that. That's their way of life. That's the way they see the world. And that's what they get, hard on for, really. And the guys that watch it, the MAGA people that love it, they're encouraging that until they're not, until it's them. So I got the 9 of Wands. We're still in this battle. But it's near the end because 9 is before 10 and 10 is 1 and 1 is the new cycle. So we're still in the battle and it's still difficult, but we're not giving up. I was watching Ken Burns. Side note, he did a whole new documentary on the American Revolution. Can't wait to watch. Ken Burns is amazing. He was on this podcast and I was listening to him talk about the history, not of the revolution as well, not only revolution, get excited, I can't stop. Civil War, World War II, the history of war, people that we don't know about, what George Washington, all the different characters from the American Revolution that we don't even know about, all the famous people that are voicing them in this documentary. He said it took 10 years to make, so very excited about it. Anyway, so I'm looking at this National Guard. And it's funny, I feel like they're putting it, I can see that Pete Hegseth is here and I see ordering all these things to be done. But he's so inept. He doesn't have the skill. He doesn't have the qualities of management. He thinks he does, but he doesn't. I feel like there's such a shallowness in his understanding that he can't see past this step. He's like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to blow up Venezuelan boats. Mr. Trump says this. Mr. Trump says that, but he's going to go to this step, but he doesn't understand the depth at which this needs to happen. So that's good because he's so stupid. Just saying. He is so stupid. And it's not going to be done right. I know there's generals and there's people in power that are smart that are going to be managing this and he's going to control them. But there's so much legal consequence. There's so much legal fight from this that I don't see. They'll do it. But beyond that, when it comes to, militarization or martial law or insurrection and all that, I don't see that happening. So just take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. But like I said, that 9 Wands, Ace of Pentacles, it's the beginning of resources and money and the beginning of brighter days. These are my crow cards. Some of you know that I love my crows or birds. I don't love crows, but birds are messengers. That's what I see. I get messages from them. So I think you're going to be fine. There's going to be there'll be some media noise and fear mongering and, oh my God, they're lining up and they're practicing riots, control using batons and whatever. There's going to be that. But they want you to be scared. I challenge you to find that inner warrior, that inner strength, and don't take any shit because you don't need to. Whatever your current status is here, it's okay. Fight when you need to, fight when you have to, but then also take some breaths every day and live in the moment. I know that's so cliche, but living in the moment, living in the now, Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now. It's very dense, that book, but it gives a lot of good points about staying in the present moment, because I believe, and this is my thought, is the universe, the infinite universal energy is in every single second. So getting out here is in this 3D world. When you have inside of here is the infinity of the universe and God of spirit. Come back to here. Anyway, have a piece of cake. You know, there's always time for a brownie, piece of cake, cupcake. Oh, speaking of that, we brought back candy bars from Canada. Chocolate in Canada is better. I know that some people may disagree with me, but they don't allow as many preservatives, or the quality of the chocolate has to be better. I don't know if it has to do with the French, influence, but it's a lot better. So we brought back candy bars, and I had a piece of one today for breakfast, or part of breakfast. Anyway, and then quickly, I wanted to look at the SNAP benefits. I see states are scrambling to cover the cost of these food programs that are not being funded. I don't know. Today's the 30th. I feel like they are going to, the Senate has just voted, this is this other side note, to block his tariffs. But when it goes to the House, little Mikey Mike doesn't bring the House into, they won't vote on it. So they won't let it pass, this denying of Trump's tariffs. Yay. So there is some Republicans that are pushing back in the Senate, at least. But these SNAP benefits there's going to be some suffering. I saw this yesterday. There is going to be some suffering. We're going to get through this. It's not going to be starvation, but difficult. You have to get creative. People are going to have to get creative, plan ahead. It's getting dark, but the reason it's getting dark is that's why we have to realize that it's going to get better. They need the pain, not these people that are suffering, but the people that we elect. Let me look at these SNAP benefits. The Magician. Look, it takes one little swipe of a pen to make it go away. So maybe something is going to be happening here that's going to take care of it. I've got the King of Swords, which is, oh my God, I got to do this. All right, let's do this. It's unemotional. And the Emperor. Yeah. So I think there's going to be somebody's going to do something to cover this. The SNAP benefits, they're going to be doing something soon, if I have a sense, specifically about this, but then eventually, like I saw over the October-November borderline, that's when I feel like the shutdown, I feel like there's murmurings that something's going to be compromised. Nine of Swords, people are losing a lot of sleep. And then we've got stealing. So comes to SNAP, that is going to be, I think somebody's going to manage that. When it comes to the shutdown, not immediately. Okay, you guys, that's it for today. I challenge you to find peace and moments that are beautiful, little nuggets of light in your day. Find a family member to hug, or a loved one, or a dog, or random stranger, if you feel so inclined. All right, you guys, take care till next time.